Hi everyone, welcome to my channel English Literature 101. The topic for the day is a story titled Three Questions, written by Leo Tolstoy. This story is prescribed by CBSE for class 7 in the English book named Honeycomb. In my previous video, I have taught part 1 of this particular chapter in details. So, those who haven't seen that video, I would suggest them to see that video so that their understanding of the chapter is clear. So, without any further delay, let's begin with part 2 of this chapter. The king turned around and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, from which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. So what happened? The king turned round and saw a bearded man who was running towards him as well as towards the hermit. His hands were pressed against his stomach and blood was flowing out. And the moment he reached the king, he fainted. Fainted means that he lost consciousness and he fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. So when the king saw that the man was wounded, he removed his clothes, washed the wound and covered it with his handkerchief. But as the wound was too deep, blood kept on flowing. And the king kept on dressing the wound unless blood stopped oozing out of it. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king bought fresh water and gave it to him. So after the king dressed the wound of the man was feeling much better and he wanted something to drink, and the king bought him a glass of water. By this time the sun had set and the air was cool. The king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. The king, tired by his walk and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. So, the sun was already down and the king, with the help of the hermit, carried the wounded man into hermit's hut and laid him on bed. The king, on the other hand, was also very tired as he worked the whole day and also helped the man in dressing his wound. So he also laid down on the floor and slept. When he awoke, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who the strange bearded man lying on the bed was. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice when he saw that the king was awake. So it was hardly that the king woke up, he found that the bearded man was saying, "Forgive me." The bearded man was apologizing in front of the king. "I don't know you and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. So the king said that, "I don't know you, then for what will I forgive you? You do not know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore revenge on you, because you put my brother to death and seized my property. I knew you had gone alone to see the hermit, and I made up my mind to kill you on your way home." So the bearded man said to the king that, "You don't know me, king, but I know you well because I am your enemy, and I wanted to take revenge on you because you put my brother to death. That is, you gave the order to end my brother's life, and then you even took away my property. And I knew you were coming to hermit's place alone, so I made a mind to kill you on your way back to the palace. But the day passed and you did not return. So I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard, who recognized me and wounded me. I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wounds. I wished to kill you and you have saved my life. Now if I live, I will serve you as your most faithful servant and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me." So what did the bearded man say? The bearded man said that, "King, I was waiting for you the whole day, but the day was passing and you did not return. So finally I came out of my hiding place and wanted to kill you, but your bodyguard somehow recognized me and wounded me in my stomach. So I escaped somehow from your bodyguard, and if you wouldn't have helped me, I would have died. So he was apologizing for that because the person whom he wanted to kill had saved his life. So he says that now when I am fine and alive, I along with my son promise that we will serve you faithfully as a faithful servant. So please forgive me, king. The king was very happy to have made peace with his enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. He not only forgave him but said he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him, and he promised to give back the man his property. So, what happened? After listening to the man, the king was happy because he thought that his gesture or his act of caring helped him win over his enemy. That is, his enemy is no longer his enemy but his friend. So, he was happy, and he not only forgave him but also promised that he would send his own doctor for his treatment and also give back his property. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked round for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to get answers to his questions. The hermit was on his knees, sowing seeds in the bed that had been dug the day before. The king went up to the hermit and said, "For the last time, I beg you to answer my questions, wise man." So the king, before leaving for his palace, he once again goes to the hermit in hope that he would get his answers. So the hermit at that time was sowing seeds in the bed that he had dug before. So the king went to the hermit and said, "Wise man, I am begging you once again, will you kindly answer to my questions?" "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still bending down to the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. Then the hermit replied that, "King, you already got your answers." And again he continued with his word. "How have I been answered? What do you mean?" Then the king was really confused. He said that, "Answer? When did I get my answer?" "Do you not see?" replied the hermit. "If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you would have gone away. Then that man would have attacked you, and you would have wished you had stayed with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds." So the hermit said that, "Didn't you notice anything, king? Yesterday, if you wouldn't have helped me when I was tired digging the ground and you would have gone away, this bearded man would have killed you. But just because you stayed with me, helped me, you are safe. So the most important time was when you were helping me digging bed. And I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business." So the hermit said that as you were helping me, I was the most important man for you at that point of time, and caring for an old person like me and doing good to me was the important business for you at that point of time. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him, because if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business. So the hermit further said that later on, when the man was wounded, you helped him by dressing his wound, you cared for him. So then that was the important time for you, because if you wouldn't have helped the man, then the man would have died and you would not get a friend. So at that point of time, the man was most important for you, and to help him was the most important business. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. So what did the hermit say? The hermit said that, "King, remember that the most important time is now, that is present. And it is the most important time because it is the only time. Present is only the time where you have the power to act." The most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment, for no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else. The most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into this world for that purpose alone. So the hermit further said that the most necessary person is the one who is present with you or is in front of you at that point of time, because we never know what will happen in future, whether we can meet that person or not. So we need to care, love and give importance to the person you are with and at that particular time. And the important business is to do good or make that person feel good who is present in front of you. So guys, that's all for today's video, and I hope you all have understood the chapter well. If you have any queries regarding the chapter, do let me know in the comment section below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.